if the person is getting upset about the way you're paraphrasing, you might
Mm-hmm.
be into interpretation,
Mm-hmm.
because paraphrasing should sound to the other person like, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
that's not the reaction, probably you're off a bit. It might be interpretation or anything else, but you're not
Okay.
quite uh, where the person is. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not always because you're not doing anything wrong. It's not always because you're doing something wrong that the person doesn't recognize themselves, because sometimes people are kind
Mm-hmm.
of protected against seeing themselves, or they're not used to being listened to. So they might be a bit defensive. So it's not always you. And the key here is to always try to stay um, open, and to keep having a witness position as you're listening. You're there, you're
Mm-hmm.
listening, but you're also witnessing yourself doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that the whole time you're listening to people,
Yeah.
always wondering where you are. Am I close to empathy? Am I somewhere else? I guess when I'm
Mm-hmm.
listening, I'm doing that all the time for the whole
Mm-hmm.
duration that I'm listening to someone. Always wondering if I'm where I'm supposed to be or somewhere else. And it's like walking on a rope and trying to find your balance.
Mm-hmm.
I think empathy is like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And what you said before, there is a little bit of interpretation because we are looking for like the deeper meaning so that we understand, so that I understand. And I notice that when sometimes the thought comes up or the question was this an interpretation when I use a metaphor or something, a picture, that we both can agree that this is what we are talking about so that we can get on the same page. And the reaction is most often, yes, exactly, that's it. And this kind of makes it dissolves the worry around was it, but yeah. So I guess it's a good advisor still to just keep, as you say, kind of like to walk the this rope. It's kind of like always.
Yes. It's not like something you can grab and hold on to and it
Mm,
never slips. Empathy is something that you reach and then you lose it again a bit and then you go back and you're kind of
mm-hmm,
going like this,
mm-hmm,
trying to recenter yourself. It gets
yeah,
easier with practice. That's
yeah,
good news, because I have to think about what I'm doing when I'm listening now, because it's
mm-hmm,
integrated. So if you keep practicing, there will be a moment where you don't have to think about it. You'll just be doing that dance,
mm-hmm,
and it's going to become more natural.
mm-hmm. Interesting. When you just said dance, I just saw myself learning dance choreographies because it's the same process. You do it and then it's kind of automatic because you've done it so often that you don't
Yeah.
think so much about it.
Something is taking over.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
But if you're listening with empathy and you're maybe saying and and
Mm-hmm.
you're if and you're not paraphrasing, like for me, like the interpretation part, I'm coming back to it, like in order to paraphrase, like you said, I have to do a bit of interpretation to figure out how I'm going to paraphrase it. So if I don't paraphrase, I guess there's less chance I'll fall into interpretation, but then I guess there's less interaction with the other person, I guess.
That's not quite true, because you can be in empathy while you're being silent, and you can be someplace else, and the person in front of you is going to feel it.
Okay.
If you're sitting there with mentally your arms crossed and sitting back, you have that attitude, the other person is going to feel it, even if I'm not showing it physically. If you're judging, it's really, empathy is an attitude that you have inside. It's not something you do or say.
Okay.
It's really a quality of presence that the other person feels.
And I
then
could
words
be
add to that, but they're not the empathy.
And I could be interpreting while not saying anything.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay.
And someone who knows you will say, I know exactly what you're thinking. And I know you're not listening to me, right? So, yeah, it's really a quality of presence. It's not something you're doing or saying. And when you really have that quality of presence, the words you say don't matter so much. Unless you say something really, was going to say something really stupid, but something that's so off that the person disconnects from you. You can be silently staying there, and just the person is going to confide in you because they feel that you're really present.